There's a lot of hand-wringing going on today, this weekend, this week, about people using mods in FF14, specifically stuff that does call-outs and raids. And as I understand it, because I didn't see the origin of it, I've just seen a lot of the discussion around it. And because we're not producing Limit Break Radio at this time, I didn't really feel the need to go search out the origins of this. So if anyone wants to actually educate me what the actual origins of this were, like who actually got banned for using mods, feel free to be my guest. But as I understand it, there was a raider or a few raiders that got banned because they were using third-party tools and had them visible on screen when they were streaming on Twitch. So, I've got a couple of thoughts about this. The first thing is that the FF14 development team has been fairly fucking clear on their stance on mods and their stance on add-ons, and that's been, please don't use them, or if you do use them, please use discretion and don't let us catch you using them. Which I think that's I think that's a semi-reasonable position to take. But here's the thing, okay? There has been a long while where none of this has been actually enforced. And suddenly, there's a lot of enforcement around it. And I happen to think that that's a really poor use of a development team, of a development company's time. I think that it's a very poor use of time to be monitoring and enforcing things like, oh, well, this person has, ACT up. Ban them. You know what I mean? Like, that takes a lot of time to go through, even if you're just taking reports, to go through and verify reports of this kind of stuff is a massive waste of time. And I think we've properly established, both through the podcast and on this channel, that development time is actually a really important thing. The less time a development team spends on developing content that the majority of people want, the more we get shit like Lords of Verminion. Okay? So, this not being exactly equal to that situation, there is some kind of manpower that's going to have to go into enforcing this. Which, to me, is again, I'm going to state it again, is a massive fucking waste of time. Now, I could be wrong, because it's been, I don't know, a while since I've checked into the Final Fantasy XIV space. But I do remember once upon a time that there was consideration that was being given to add-on and mod support officially through the Final Fantasy XIV software or through Square-Enix. And we've heard a lot of hemming and hawing, and we've, heard Square-Enix, well, like, we've heard that you want a DPS meter, and we're going to give you stone, salt, and butt cheeks. I don't remember what that feature is called, but, they've been giving us pale imitations of things that the community has generally needed to be able to dial in the performance that's needed to clear some of these hurdles and some of these raids. And, I think that that's rather unfair of a dev team to go, listen, the key to this fight is going to, or the key to this phase is going to be a DPS check. Good luck, fuckers. To not give you any in-game indication other than the percentage on a health bar on how to improve that is, I think, a real functional and structural problem of Final Fantasy XIV. So, and Evil Lives and I have been going back and forth on this on Twitter today. I'm of the opinion that having some kind of DPS meter that functions similarly to ACT, maybe even better and more accurate than ACT, considering it would be an internal system, I don't think that would be detrimental. There's a lot of hand-wringing around this subject about whether or not things like DPS meters, which are fairly needed for certain phases of progression, especially when we're talking about actual rating and ultimate clears. It really isn't this source of drama, this source of ridicule that most people seem to think that it would be turned into. And I'll give you a fucking example, because if I believed that was harassment, honestly, I would have gotten way more upset about the 1900 DPS jokes that people made about me back in the closing days of Limit Break Radio. If you recall, I didn't really give a shit about those jokes other than the fact that they were played out and lame, and they were like the FF14 equivalent to Let's Go Brandon. People thought that they were getting a fucking one-up over me. And it's it's a shitty joke. It's a thing that I said about myself on my own show. And you think that you're going to somehow use that to denigrate me? So, it's one of those things where it's honestly, if there is harassment that comes out of something like a DPS meter being officially introduced into the game, so be it. So be it. Is that the worst thing in the fucking world? People are going to be assholes to each other. People are going to be assholes regardless if you give them a DPS meter or not. It just gives them an additional thing to be an asshole about. Personally, I think that that's pretty inconsequential, especially when it comes to having the tools that you need when trying to do, rating or ultimate clears. How about this? Why is nobody suggested, a system, a DPS meter that you can only see, or a DPS report that you can only see after clearing or attempting a fucking raid or an ultimate? If you don't like the idea of a DPS meter being in the game and you think that it's going to lead to people being singled out and harassed, which it might, I just don't think that that's the worst thing in the world. If you are concerned about it, fine, turn it off in every other content where it's not needed. We all know that there is content where it's just straight up not necessary. Alliance raids, normal raids, dungeons, that kind of shit. It seems silly to me to be concerned about this what if scenario about, well, what if people get made fun of? It's an online game. They're going to get fun of. They're going to get made fun of. If it's not for their shitty DPS, it'll be about their shitty fan art or something. It's not even needed in EX, to be honest. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. I don't do any of that content. So I don't, personally, this affects me not an iota, and I don't really give that much of a shit other than people sitting around and tut-tutting and clicking their fucking tongue at people who are using add-ons and who are getting banned. I just think that that's a bad fucking look. Like I said in the opening, hey, fuck around, soon around you're going to find out, right? Or fuck around soon enough you're not going to be around. But fuck around and find out. And some people found out. Square Enix had every right, technically, to ban them. I just think it's a stupid move on the part of a dev team that claims to be over-fucking worked all the time. Where was my additional dungeon in the last fucking patch? Where was my second dungeon in 6.1? You fucking cads. I love that insult, cad. But, my point is that instead of paying people, and again, this is from a company resource standpoint. So, you can fucking, I don't know, call me a fucking bean counter or some shit or whatever. I don't really give a fuck. But in terms of company resources, fire each and every single person that you have combing through Twitch archives looking for people who are running ACT on their screen. And instead, why don't you take those people's salary and allocate that to 4 or 5 developers that can work on additional content so that I don't clear a patch in 2 fucking days? Is that so unreasonable? Why is that unreasonable? Those rapscallions, that's another good one. But why am I the asshole? Because I don't think it's that big of a deal if someone's like, your shitty lol, and drops them from a fucking static. Sorry your feelings got hurt. Fuck you, find another static. It's like there's all this consideration being given to people's feelings and their fifis. I am wholly unconcerned with people's fucking feelings in an online video game. If your feelings get hurt, go play another game. Go play a single-player game. Go play something that when you beat it, it tells you that you're a good person. I don't know what that is, but wherever you need that fucking endorphin boost, go get it. But when you're ready to actually play a video game that requires cooperation and coordination with other human beings, and you're willing to accept that other human beings have faults and have shitty days and are assholes and imperfect, then come back and play with the rest of the fucking people. Until then, you can't play with the other kids. Go away. Sorry, I don't think that's that unreasonable. It's an online space. You're dealing with other fucking people. This does not need to be a safe space for literally every person that signs on. That gets annoying. And I'm so tired of the FF14 devs looking at their fucking, the people who play this game as literal children. I understand that that's how you guys act sometimes. I've seen it firsthand. I've had that directed at me. Okay? I understand that. And it's annoying. And you guys can be fucking annoying about this game. But can we all please be adults? Can we all please be fucking reasonable about this shit? It's 2022. You run an MMO. Why are you not supporting mods and add-ons? Why are you not the arbiter? If you're not actively being the arbiter of what people can run and can't run in your game environment when you run an online game, then I'm sorry, you get ACT, you get Windower, and you get all of the side effects that come along with it. I don't make the rules. But unfortunately, you have to enforce those rules, and you have to pay people to enforce those rules. I think that that's an asinine use of company funds. Paying people to go through Twitch streams and Twitter feeds? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, what's the point? Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Is someone going to comb through my Twitch feed afterwards and be like, whoa, he's saying mean things about the development team. Time to ban him. Like, where's the line? Where's the line? And if you can clearly define a line, can you please define it for the rest of us? instead of making this a fucking mystery by not enforcing your own fucking rules for the better part of 8 years and then suddenly coming in and being like, nope, in this one instance, nope, can't do it. Fuck's sake. Like, are you a $1 billion company? Or, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it legitimately galls me and pisses me off that a $1 billion company can sit here with a straight face and be like, yeah, we're going to monitor your social media. Fuck out of here. God damn. Since when did everyone like suddenly feel like, hey, we've got our own mini version of the Patriot Act. We're just going to collect all your fucking data and we're going to fucking find out all your social media and we're going to fucking monitor you all the time so that you only say the things that we allow you to say. God damn it. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's an online game. None of this shit matters, guys. When we get right down to it, none of this shit matters. And I'm so fucking tired of people being like, well, it's against the rules, and they said that What the fuck? Why are you such a fucking like? Do you get off on rules? Do you watch rule porn when you go home? Ooh, he broke the rules. Now he needs to be punished. Like, what? Were you that fucking rat kid on the goddamn school ground where you were like, hey, teacher, he's got Pokemon cards, and then all the Pokemon cards get taken away? You fucking piece of shit. Like, I don't understand. I do not understand the people who thoroughly sit on the other side of this fence. Who are like, no, every person who has ever used ACT ever needs to be banned and banned forever. They should be scanning the running processes on your computer all the time so that the minute ACT is launched, they launch a tactical nuke at your account so that you can never log on to any Square-Enix services ever again. Oh, you wanted to play Final Fantasy 16? Fuck you! You've been banned. I guarantee you Square-Enix isn't the only one that look at social media when investigating shit. Here's the thing. It's all stupid. Why? I mean, listen. In cases of actual excessive harassment where you literally cannot get a motherfucker to leave you alone, fine. How often does that actually happen? How often is that actually what fucking happens? Please tell me. My name's Nate Bender, and welcome to Let's Play. Because it seems like not very fucking often. But the people who sit on the other side of the fence on this argument, they sit there and they tut at you and, oh, it's against the rules, it's against the TOS. It doesn't mean that because it's against the TOS that makes the person a bad person. Does it make it justifiable? Does it make it legal that Square-Enix bans them? Of course. But Square-Enix, like cops, have discretion in everything that they do. So my question is, were the inciting incidents so egregious that they needed to ban these people to send a statement? Is that really necessary? Again, this is 2022. To not have official add-on or mod support for your fucking MMO is malfeasance. It's developer malfeasance. Because again, if you don't actively make yourself the arbiter of what people can and can't load for your game, then you're just leaving it up to whatever people figure out and reverse engineer. And I've seen some incredible shit get reversed engineered. Not just through this game, but for a fuckload of other games. Mod tools that, like any game that doesn't have official mod support, the mod tools that people build are fucking astounding and incredible. And a lot of times, they end up helping developers in the long run, either by actually becoming a part of the dev team somewhere down the line, or exposing major flaws inside the coding. So again, I ask you, who gets hurt by someone using mods? Who gets hurt by someone using add-ons? Who gets hurt? Who is harmed by someone using third-party tools? Oh no, they got a piece of gear like 2 weeks before somebody else that wasn't using mod tools. Oh no. Oh no. That's so terrible. Any consideration for parity with console players? No, because if you're a console player, you don't deserve to be doing EX raids or ultimate clears. Sorry, if you want to do that shit, get a real fucking computer so you can run ACT. Fuck out of here. If you could find a PS5, believe me, you could have made a fucking computer that can run FF14. And the amount of hardware that can run FF14 at a pretty reasonable rate, come on, you're not even spending that much. Sorry, I have no sympathy. We're 9 years into this into the relaunch of this game. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about console players and what they do or don't get? Why does that matter? If you don't like it, if you feel like PC players have an advantage, go get a fucking PC. Like, yeah, but I'm the asshole. But I'm the asshole. I mean, the whole, first of all, the action around this was ridiculous and stupid. The discussion around it has been mostly ridiculous. Hello. Yo, what's going on, Morgan Freeman? I just want Torquil, thank you for the 10-month resub. And Morgan Freeman, by the way, 35 months on that resub. Listen, it's just... I mean... Even if you want to take the console players like consideration seriously, like even consoles are making allowances for mods and add-ons. So like, are we gonna fucking figure this out or are we gonna fuck around? Like how much do you want? How much do you want to be banning people off of your fucking game, especially at the high end that a lot of people have their eyes on for like ultimate clears and shit like that? Like why do you want to do that kind of damage to your game when you've been riding high, dude? Yeah, Fallout 4 had soft mod support both on Xbox and PS4. Like, why can't we figure this out? Why can't they figure this out? I'm not a $1 billion company, guys. I didn't make FF14. I just made the most popular podcast for it. I don't have the answers. But I just think that not supporting add-ons and mods in 2022 is incredibly short-sighted. It's as short-sighted for an MMO, if not more so. Actually, I take that back. Probably more so than a single-player game. All right. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat very carefully. Don't you bring my Fifi into this? She did nothing to you. Honestly, part of me wonders if the think of the players rhetoric is to some degree masking a distaste for mods. What distaste? Like, who has shit against mods? I mean, listen, I've seen... I shouldn't say that. I say that rhetorically. I've seen the attitude. Those people are idiots, and they're inconsequential, and their opinion doesn't matter. I'm not sure, but I think one of the bands had Cactpot running. Yeah, okay, that's... Yeah, there's some stuff that definitely skirts the line. Personally, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about something like Cactpot? Like, I haven't been to the fucking Gold Saucer in like 5 years. Aniero, please respect my right to use third-party tools to have my Warrior of Light getting their back blown out by Emmett Selk with fancy G poses. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of bans for that shit, do ya? I've seen Yoshi P hand-wringing about a lot of Lalafell erotic G posing, but I don't see him handing out bans for that. But that's none of my business. It's admittedly paltry research, but there's something to suggest that Japanese game devs in general don't like any sort of game mods. Well, they're fucking idiots. I mean, if that's the case, like, sorry, dude. Like, again, it's 2022. Like, get fucking with it. No joke, a few years ago, the Japanese government made modding save files or game consoles illegal. I think that has more to do... Wait, save files? Really? That's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid. It's a whole other environment compared to NA devs whose opinions on mod vary from trying to ban because they want to make more money or actively supporting them. Listen, again, Square Enix's business is far larger than Japan, and if they... like... It's 2022. Like, I'm... Like, come the fuck on. Even if, like, culturally, it's like, oh, I don't know. Like, you've seen the benefits. Plus, this is a fucking MMO. Come the fuck on. Like, they played WoW to research this MMO. They know, they understand the benefits of mods. And god damn it, didn't the fucking president of Square Enix just get out there for like a couple of months and be like, well, we want more people to take an active part in development, and we want to make sure that they're compensated through NFTs and Bitcoin. What the fuck? Hang on. No, this doesn't compute at all. If the president of Square Enix is out there trying to claim that NFTs and things like the blockchain will allow people to actively contribute to games, but is sitting here and banning people for the use of ACT or even Cactpot at that point. Go fuck yourselves. All of Square Enix. Everyone who works at Square Enix, you fucking hypocrites. You goddamn fucking hypocrites. The president of your company just sold off most of the North American studios that they own so that they can try to pursue this fucking bullshit. They're gonna fuck us in the ass. Like, what the fuck? How is this? This is such bullshit, dude. What the fuck? Like, you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me to my face, hey, we're going to sell off some of our biggest properties and IPs to be able to float the idea of using blockchain with our other successful IPs, but we're going to fuck over some Twitch streamers because they're using mods on their Twitch stream? Fuck you. That's the most ridiculous goddamn shit I've ever heard. And they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Go fuck yourself, Yoshi P. Go fuck yourself, everyone that works at Square Enix. Either get on the same page with your fucking CEO or shut the fuck up and quit banning people, you assholes. Oh my god, that realization just made me lose my fucking shit. Fuck them. Fuck them and their stupid fucking game. Oh my god. Fuck. I'll get down to the fucking... Sorry, I just put that together in my own fucking head. This is exactly why I'm not on social media, says Robbie. Gave up FC 6 years ago and never looked back. Deleted Twitter. I'm assuming FC was probably FB. Deleted Twitter and Instagram too. SE makes it too easy. The logs are sent to your computer in plain text and they leave logs running while you play the game in clear text. Like, dude. Yeah. I think Sony might have an issue, but that's a business issue. You're right, and you are the asshole. Both can be true. I mean, I'm one of the few people who never used any sort of add-ons for Final Fantasy XI, but I never disparage anyone who does. Wait, you're not? Why am I even here? With Sony, it's more that they don't want to. It's all about stepping around what they want without losing the casual player base. I mean, yes, and I've said this as well. Like, you shouldn't cater. You probably, if you're running an MMO like this, yeah, you probably shouldn't cater the majority of your content to a hardcore player base because that's less than 10% of your overall player base. I understand that. Why go out of your way to punish those fucking people? That's the part that is insane to me. Yo, what's going on, Frice? Remember how bad modding for Skyrim and Fallout 4 is on PlayStation 4? Yeah, but they're phasing out PlayStation 4, so arbitrated by Bethesda to be able to run the consoles without bugs. Yeah, exactly. That's why we got the half-hearted version of modding on PlayStation 4, at least. No new files, scripts, buggy, losing faces for inserted characters, far more restricted in data capacity. Yes, all of those things are actively true. However, I'm not talking about adding fucking scenarios to FF14. We're talking about a DPS meter. We're talking about, we're talking about really simple shit. A parse, like that. Those kinds of things can be arbitrated by Square Enix. They have that capacity. I swear to God, if they took everyone who is monitoring Twitch accounts and Twitter accounts and had them and assigned them to the task of being the arbiter of, add-ons for Final Fantasy XIV, it would be a way better use of about 5 salaries in that company. Japanese companies are very old-fashioned, won't accept new ideas unless another Japanese person comes to a proper in-person meeting and explains the benefits, and even then it's tenuous. I honestly don't really care about all of the cultural conditions that continues to allow Square Enix to suck ass. Like, I'm wholly uninterested in it. Like, I understand that it's there, but like, it has no bearing on my opinion on whether or not I think they're making good decisions or bad decisions. And I tend to take a much more global approach, a much more global reach approach to thinking about video games, mostly because there are so few video games that are language locked, which tends to be the real barrier from them hopping the border and going to another fucking country. Okay? And so, yeah, I'm kind of wholly uninterested in what it is about Japanese business culture that makes them more adverse to trying things that are good for their business. I'm more concerned with what works for this fucking game and this fucking community. Pretty sure that chatter from before was talking about Cactbot and not Cactpot. Cactbot tells you how much to do mechanics before you get indicators in the game. The band wave is super harsh, and I disagree with it, but Cactbot and trigonometry is definitely a gray area. It might be, but I actively don't care. I don't care. Cactbot or trigonometry or whatever those are, they have uses in very, very, very specific cases, and I just don't care. I honestly, as a player of this game, as a content creator for this game, I just don't kind of give a shit. I think, listen, I understand that there are arguments to be made for and against software like that, and that's why, again, and I'm going to say it again, Square Enix should be the one who's the arbiter of that stuff, and they should do it officially through the game. Okay, they have the ability to do that. The code for this game is malleable enough to be able to support a function like that, right? I think we can agree on that. But the fact that they don't leaves it to be the wild, wild west for third-party developers. And so it creates this it sort of creates this air of like, well, unless they're actively banning for it, then it doesn't fucking matter. And again, there's also an argument to be made that this is a uneven application of the rule. So I think from Square Enix, Square Enix structurally, I think systemically, has kind of fucked up here. And they've painted themselves into an enforcement corner where now they're going to have to enforce a lot, or people are going to go, well, these were symbolic bans, and you're probably okay using that kind of stuff again. But unless Square Enix is the one who's the arbiter of what you can and can't use, then there's going to just be this third-party market for software that does shit to this game. And even if it is against TOS, people are still going to fucking use it. They're just going to use it on the hush-hush. Careful, dude, don't have an Anieroism. That's pretty good. On the subject of being able to run FF14 like on a cheap PC, I have FF14 with mods running on my Steam Deck at a stable 60 FPS. There you go. There you go. Like, come on. You don't even need that good of a PC. On the subject of anything being able to... Oh, wait, no, I already read that. Nate got so mad he actually fogged up the camera a bit. I haven't seen that in a while. Holy shit. Well, it looks like the trolls from both JP and NA players grouping and going through Twitch and mass reporting anyone they see with add-ons or mods. Those people can fuck right off forever. They can fucking drive themselves into the Grand Canyon for I care. That's fucking bullshit. And, you know, listen, if you're watching my stream right now and you're one of those fucking people, you're a bad person. You're generally a bad person that's filled with hatred. And, you know, you need to go reevaluate you need to do some soul searching. You need to reevaluate some things, some priorities in your life. Because if the most important thing to you is getting people banned who are using an innocuous program, then I'm sorry, not only are you a loser and a complete irredeemable waste of human flesh, you're also just a sad individual. And I can sit here and, you know, lose my shit and fucking get red in the face, although no one could be able to tell that I was red in the face. But I can sit here and rage about all I want, and I would be filled with not even an iota, a shred of the actual hatred that you have for other people. I would only measure up to a fraction of the contempt that you have for actual players and of this enjoyers, people of this community. Shame on you. You should be ashamed to call yourself a Final Fantasy player. You should be banned. 100%. That's not only should you be banned, you should also be arrested and go to jail. 100%. No doubt. You should for sure be arrested. Could that count as stream sniping, reporting on people who use mods? I mean, maybe. I doubt it, though. The brigading shit is insane. Actual cursed hellscape community moment. Yeah, there's a large portion of this community that isn't worth shit. Okay? A lot of people think that in the Limit Break Radio run that we were trying to piss off the FF14 community at large. In fact, we were trying to piss off very specific types of players in this community. Specifically, those that think that they know better for other people than people know for themselves. It's a little bit similar to what is happening in the United States right now. You know? Tell me if this sounds a little bit familiar. Hey, I'm using a program that doesn't really hurt anyone, that doesn't really impact your ability to enjoy or advance in the game. It helps me to be able to enhance my experience, and I get to move through things a little bit faster. Well, even though it doesn't impact me, I have a moral stance against this, and so everyone who has ever used it must be punished. What does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you? Sounds awfully fucking familiar to me. There are sections of this community that are actually genuinely bad fucking people. They're the same people who, when I was playing Final Fantasy XI, would absolutely freak the fuck out if they found out someone was using Windower. Can you imagine? If Twitch was a thing back in like 2006, can you imagine the amount of people that would have been reporting streams or reporting players en masse every time they saw the TP party, which, by the way, was a feature that Square-Enix later added into the game. So, again, kind of going back to the DPS meter, people made the same argument that, listen, if you can just see your party's TP and just know automatically when to weapon skill with one of your party mates, then that gives you an unfair advantage. Yeah, well, 6 years too fucking late, Square Enix adds that shit to their game. And you know what? They're probably going to do the same thing with FF14. Let's be honest. Square Enix didn't learn their lesson with Windower. And now, here we are.